Hello, welcome to the Backwoodsman Institute. My name is Scott Fromey. Well, it's the end of June. It's probably the 29th of June, and the blackberries are starting to come on. Normally, most years I don't really get started picking blackberries till about after the 4th of July. But this year, here in southern Indiana, we've had good warm weather and a lot of rain, and they're coming on. So it's time to start picking blackberries. I'll go ahead and pan into some blackberries, kind of show you a little bit what we're looking at. Okay, here's a little batch of blackberries right here. Let's go ahead and pan into some here. Right there's what you're looking at as far as blackberries. Wild blackberries aren't quite as big as tame blackberries. Oh, I'd say about half the size of your thumb, whereas a tame blackberry, probably the size of your thumb. So like I said, you can see a lot of the red ones and a lot of them are ripe. They'll be coming on for quite some time here in the next few weeks. Okay, I want to share with you a little bit about some of the equipment that I use to actually pick blackberries. Now there's times when I just go out and grab a bucket or a pot or something and pick some blackberries, but if you're really going to do a lot of blackberry picking, I suggest getting you like an ice cream bucket or some kind of bucket with a handle and get you a strap. That way, that frees both hands. I can use both hands to either lift or pick and put them in a bucket. So, like I said, blackberries got a lot of thorns on there, so I'll be moving the thorns around. Otherwise, my hands are going to be all, scratched up from the thorns. Now, if you're not very thick-skinned as far as your hands goes, you can wear maybe a pair of gloves I wouldn't recommend having any fingers in the gloves so that you can pick it, but at least protect the backside of your hand a little bit from getting scratched up. The other thing I like to make sure is I like to wear some type of a long sleeve shirt, probably a tougher type of material, like maybe a BDU or HCU top or something like that. A long sleeve t-shirts work fine, but they also get caught up in the thorns a little bit. So if you got a tougher type of jacket, that works the best. So you're going to get hot. I don't recommend, picking blackberries during the heat of the day. Some people pick them early in the morning. I don't like that as much because there's a lot of dew in the morning and I get wet that way. So I tend to pick mine more of an evening time after it cools off a little bit and I can handle a long sleeve shirt. So the next thing, that we're going to be out there in the thorns and stuff, so I usually put on the same leggings that I use for rabbit hunting, going through the briars. These are some oilskin leggings, and that protects my legs from getting all scratched up. Now the other thing to worry about besides the thorns is you got the ticks and the chiggers and the deer flies. That's all out there too. And I know a lot of people that don't like to pick blackberries just because of the chiggers and the ticks. So what I do is I put my pants, trousers down on the top of my boots and give everything a good coating of them off, and that pretty well mosquito spray and tick repellent. That pretty well takes care of the ticks and the chiggers and keeps a majority of them away. Like I said, it's beginning of July. Blackberries are just coming on, so time to do some blackberry picking. Or, at least if you're not going to do a whole lot of blackberry picking, at least you ought to try and get you enough for a blackberry pie. If you never had fresh wild blackberry pie, you really don't know what you're missing. I love it. What I like about wild blackberries is the season lasts several weeks, and you can usually harvest quite a bit of blackberries in that time that you have. And let's say you only picked a little bit at a time. They freeze well in the freezer, so if you don't have enough to make whatever you're wanting to make, you can always store them in the freezer till you're ready to make it, whether that be in jam or homemade wine or really anything you can think of that you can do with other fruits, you can do with blackberries. So like I said, or you can just keep baking blackberry pies. So take advantage of the blackberries that are out there. Catch you out in the woods.